What's going on, good people? Kyron here.
What's going on? School in the building. Trying something new.
We don't get no what's happening?
Trying something new, man. Trying something new like you, man.
Fair enough.
Hi, everybody. It is your girl, Ray P. Welcome back to another episode of the Culture Garden Podcast. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
Not too much. Rachel, how you feeling?
I feel good.
That's
I'm
good.
tired.
Always a pleasure.
We made it. We here.
Right.
We here.
Right. We always make it. We always do. We find a way no matter what. It's always a pleasure to see your face, Rachel.
For sure.
Same to you, School. Shout out to you, man. Obviously, this is a special episode. 26th annual Black Reel Awards.
Yo.
Shout out to the Black Reel Awards first and foremost. Everybody, please, not y'all, but if you're out there in your cars or your home or your office, give a little silent round of applause for the Black Reel Awards. 26 years is remarkable. Yes. A lot of great and classic films throughout that time frame, and we are just excited and honored to be a part of this. If you've been following us, you know we started with the 24th annual Black Reel Awards and had our own conversation. Spoken into existence that we'd be doing some work with them, and here we are. We were able to talk to Tim. Shout out to Tim Gordon and Cordell. Tim's the founder, Cordell's the nominating chairperson, who helped us navigate through this entire process. We have, full disclosure, we're members of the Voting Academy, so we actually had to say this was our first year voting in the awards, which was very interesting and a fun job. But we want to go over the winners and have a little bit of discussion about these films, give our thoughts on who won, who we thought should have won, what we agree with, what we might disagree with, all in all. But most importantly, just a good time to celebrate Black film, Black movies. And before moving forward, I do have to acknowledge that at the time of recording, the morning of, we did lose the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who passed away. So just want to make sure I send some love, or we send some love and condolences to his friends, family, and loved ones.
Absolutely.
There's tons to be said. There's not enough words to talk about the legacy and the life he lived, but we definitely wanted to acknowledge him, especially during this time. With that being said, y'all, 26th annual Black Reel Awards.
Let's get it.
Sinners. This is one of those things that when Rachel and myself had the Sinners conversation back in April, we just had our instant reactions. When we had that, we talked about, I think it's kind of going to dominate. I don't know if we said it on air or off air, but we kind of said, I don't know if anything's going to top Sinners. Specifically thinking from the lens of Black Reel Awards.
Yeah.
It was just one of those movies you knew that was going to be a powerhouse. And there's no surprise that it did break a Bolt Award record, 14 wins.
Come on.
14 wins, which is 4 more than the 10 that Black Panther received. Once again, another Ryan Coogler film. Ryan Coogler actually is now individually the most awarded Black Reel Award winner, a Bolt Award winner.
Oh, wow.
He broke a tie. Yeah, he broke a tie with Jordan Peele and Denzel Washington. So Denzel still has the acting. Yeah. He still has the acting at 7. But Ryan stands alone at 8 now with 8 Black Reel Awards. So shout out to him. Obviously very young in his career, and it's only up from here. But I thought that was a pretty interesting stat when you think about all the work he's done in a short amount of time to already be at 8. So shout out to Sinners, dominated at 14. Like I said, Black Panther had 10 and Color Purple had 9 before that. So it's going to take a lot of work and a very special and important film to kind of break that award. Or break that record, excuse me.
And that was 16 nominations, right? If I'm correct.
21 nominations.
21. Okay.
21 nominations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
All right. So I do want to, like I said, this whole episode is really to talk about the winners and the nominees and the big categories. If you've known, we've always discussed kind of the acting and directing categories. But since we are now kind of doing this on behalf of Black Reel Awards and want to make sure we highlight them, I want to list off the winners for every category and then toss it over to Rachel to kind of talk about our big awards and have the main conversation that we have been for the past couple of years. So special shout out goes to, for outstanding production design, we have Hannah Beachler and Monique Champagne, set decorators for Sinners. They were winners for outstanding production design. Winner for outstanding hair and makeup, Ken Diaz, Mike Fontaine, Sion Richards, and Shanika Terry for Sinners. 2 of those 14 wins. Outstanding editing, Michael P. Shawver for Sinners. Outstanding costume design, Paul Tazewell for Wicked for Good, which I thought was Ruthie Carter normally dominates that category. But Wicked, I guess with the effects that you have to put into place, it makes sense. I definitely recognize Sinners as being something that you had to get that whole look in that era and the Delta, all of that down. But I suppose it was probably a little bit more impressive with Wicked, given that a little bit more degree of difficulty.
Yes, because I agree with you. My wife is a big fan, and this is a book, obviously. So you're really going from imagination. You know what I mean? Like, so that's just that does make it a little bit more difficult. So for sure.
That's a good point. Rachel, you want to say something too?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I am a big fan of period pieces in general. So I do acknowledge that there is quite a bit of work that goes into costuming and whatnot. However, I do think that this is the right decision for Wicked as far as costume and design go, just because the sets are so outlandish.
Great point.
And amazing for another world and a different couple of worlds, actually, and different sets in the universe is very different than 1930s Mississippi.
100%. That's a great point. So shout out to Paul Tazewell for that win on outstanding costume design. Outstanding cinematography, one of my favorite categories. I love things that are visually beautiful. We have Autumn Durald Archipel for Sinners. They won she won for Sinners. She's nominated for an Academy Award as well. Cinematography was incredible. Outstanding first screenplay, Sarita Singleton for One of Them Days. That was pretty interesting win. I'm happy that they got some acknowledgement. One of Them Days, we had, once again, Rachel and myself had a instant reaction episode. Very enjoyable film, and I'm glad that they got their flowers. Sure. Outstanding. Well, we'll talk about breakthrough performance, Rachel. That'll be something you cover. Outstanding emerging director, R.T. Thorne for 40 Acres. We have 40 Acres in other categories. Looking forward to talking about that. Outstanding short film, which is given to the director, The Devil is Busy. Peter Gandabar and Crystal Hampton. They were co-directors on that film. They won for outstanding short film. Flowers to them. Kudos to them.
For sure.
Outstanding independent documentary. Once again, this award is given to the director. We Were Here, The Untold History of Black Africans in Renaissance Europe.
Love it.
Fred Cujo Cuerno is the director, won that award. So shout out to him for his Black Reel Award. Outstanding independent film. Once again, 40 Acres, R.T. Thorne, the director. Outstanding soundtrack, Sinners. Outstanding original song, I Lied to You from Sinners. Miles Catton, performer. And of course, the legend, Raphael Sadiq and Ludwig Göransson, writers of that song. Outstanding score, Sinners. A very unique score, fit the film perfectly. Shout out to Ludwig once again. He was a composer. Outstanding voice performance, Zoe Saldana. Avatar, Fire and Ash. One of Rachel's favorite categories, outstanding international film. On Becoming a Guinea Fowl. Zambia, UK, and Ireland. That award is given to the director, and that is where they filmed those. Zambia, UK, and Ireland. I believe there were parts of the US that they recorded in. But what you laughing at, Ray?
Why did you add that? That is my favorite category. I know it's satire, but it took me back to fighting.
To fighting.
Through getting through this movie.
Oh, okay. You know what I thought about? I thought about last year's awards.
I know.
For some reason, Hard Truths. I love Hard Truths.
I know.
I loved Hard. But that's part of the. Here's what I love about us, right? When I say us, I'm talking about the three of us.
Yeah.
I love that we just have a space. And all of y'all highlighted this a couple years ago when we did our friends and family episode, but y'all highlighted it feels like you're just in the room, just kind of kicking it with us. And I think one thing that's important, because this is still a Culture Garden episode, even though we're talking about Black Reel, I think it's important that no matter what happens and no matter where our trajectory takes us, and we're honored and proud that people see enough in us to kind of talk about it, we're still going to give our honest opinions on things. And film is subjective, art is subjective, just because there's a lot of things that people love that I don't like. And vice versa, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I always gotta, we gonna joke, we gonna laugh, but
For sure.
I actually prefer when we disagree on things versus agreeing, because those make interesting conversations. But shout out to On Becoming a Guinea Fowl. We'll talk about that later as well. Outstanding documentary, The Perfect Neighbor, Gita Gandabar, the director. Very interesting. Do I want to say? I was going to say you got to be in the mood, but you'll never be in the mood for something like that. If you like documentaries and stories, it's pretty fascinating, but it is one of those heavy, for lack of better terms. It can be, it's a lot going on, but The Perfect Neighbor, very well deserved for outstanding documentary. We have the rest of them, I believe, are going to be the bigger categories that we talk about as a whole. So Rachel, I know we still have outstanding film, outstanding director, outstanding lead, outstanding supporting, screenplay, ensemble, and breakthrough performance. Those are the categories we're going to talk about a little bit more in detail. We'll take it wherever you want to start.
So
Rachel's going to list the nominees and then the winners. Man, you know.
So many categories. And I don't know, because I had to come off the screen. I was scrambling because somehow I closed my window. So I was trying to pull it back up on my phone really quickly. So let's start with what's open for both.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's get it.
Let us start with outstanding director.
Okay.
We have and the nominees for outstanding director are Ryan Coogler, Sinners, Nia DaCosta, Hedda, Spike Lee, Highest to Lowest, Rangamo Nioni on Becoming a Guinea Fowl, and R.T. Thorne for 40 Acres. And the winner is for outstanding director, the Ryan Coogler.
Come on.
Of the
Ryan Coogler.
Sinners. The movie of 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so this is a disclaimer. Some of you might be thinking, like, how does Sinners win 14 and Ryan Coogler only has 8? Certain awards aren't given, not all awards are given to the director.
Right.
It's not like everybody involved. So there are certain things, like we mentioned, the score, original song. Even though he was director and oversaw the film, he has nothing to do with this. So I want to make sure that's clear. But Ryan Coogler, as you mentioned, Rachel, is the winner. I don't think anybody's surprised here. Any shock on this one?
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's why I voted for.
I voted for Ryan. I'm sure, Rachel, you voted for Ryan. I don't think, in all due respect to everybody else in the category, it was just Sinners' year. Sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw. It was just their year. I enjoyed the other directors in the films, and I thought they did a great job. Remember, we're not talking about the movie itself. We're talking about the direction, how they took this story and how it translated from screenplay to the actual screen. I don't think anything was probably more out of these 5 was a little bit more complex, from building the set to kind of envisioning this world and the way I know they're doing their rounds right now on the award trail. But all the behind the scenes stories of how they kind of constructed this world, I thought was very fascinating. And I couldn't see anybody beating Sinners, and well deserved for Ryan Coogler. I think that was pretty much a layup for him. But shout out to, like I said, there's other categories, so we'll talk about some of these other movies. But shout out to Ryan for another win. Well deserved. Well deserved. What's the next category we got, Ray?
Oh, I was gonna say, let me ask y'all, of the films in this best outstanding director, again, that's Sinners, Hedda, Highest to Lowest, on Becoming a Guinea Fowl, in 40 Acres. If Sinners is not in this category, who do you think takes it?
I'm glad you said that, Rachel, because I literally was going to go down that path and say, you know what, just so we don't have to keep going over Sinners was a clear winner. That's a very interesting topic. So I thought about this, and I'm not going to hold you. So Hedda is based off of a play. So there's a little bit of motivation already there, even though it's a little bit reimagined from what you get in the play and whatnot. Highest to Lowest is just a typical Spike Lee joint. He's done New York plenty of times. So it's nothing that was really over the top there. On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, similar to The Perfect Neighbor, just a heavy subject matter, heavy movie. If you're not a fan of international films and subtitles, it might be a little bit of a difficult watch on top of everything else that you're discussing in that film. And I'm going to give it to R.T. Thorne for 40 Acres. I'm not going to lie, because this was the film, I saw it in the theaters, dystopian type of world, which I'm not a Walking Dead, that type of guy. And it's not zombies in it, but it is a dystopian 28 days later type of thing. And I think they nailed what it would be like in that world perfectly. It kind of reminded me a little bit, and this is a stretch, y'all. Interstellar. So anybody who's seen Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, just the type of world you had to build, because Interstellar also was dealing with the society as we know it is no longer existing. Right. The whole point of that movie is we got to go find somewhere we can have another life.
I like that.
The Earth as we know is no longer habitable. Yeah, it's over. So I kind of drew that parallel between the two. And what would this be like if everything that we grew up on just suddenly changed? It's one thing when you're born into something. It's another thing when you see things for how they were, and then it drastically changes, and now you have to change your whole way of living and the way you approach things. I thought they did a great job telling that story. And another thing that they did that I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of, they broke it down in chapters, which can easily miss. But they broke it down so you kind of knew what you were doing. So I'm going to give it to R.T. Thorne for 40 Acres.
I like that. I agree.
You're in the same boat too.
Yeah. I think he put it perfectly. And I like that too. I like what you said about just the different, how things change drastically. You know, it's kind of like in the sense of, you know, this is I guess dark. I don't know. But if you was to go to prison in 1980 and you get out today, like that's a whole fucking different world. Like,
for sure.
You know, I've heard a story, a famous
I know where you was going with it.
The guy that broke out of prison and stole the car and couldn't pump gas and drove himself back to prison. Like, this ain't for me. Like,
that's why they say, before Rachel gives her answer, that's why there are a lot of people who feel more comfortable in jail than outside of jail. Yeah, because I know what this world is like. At least I know what I'm getting into.
I know
outside world is cruel to some. So yeah. Rachel, what about you? What you think?
So you guys have made me put my thinking cap on a little bit tighter than I had previously, because I think everything that you said, both of you, in regards to 40 Acres is probably the correct answer. And I had to fight myself when I preface this to you guys of allowing my own biases, because I want to give it to Spike Lee off the top. For highest to lowest, taking Sinners out of it. And I see what you're saying with RT Thorne.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. However, I think for me, just as far as and lucky we killed highest to lowest when we did our little recap.
I did not. I just wanted the record to show. I did not.
I took my shot. Shit.
Listen, hey, fist up, Spike. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History
Month, baby.
To the giant, Spike Lee. I'm gonna give it to Spike Lee for highest to lowest, just because as far as enjoyability for me of the film. Shout out to the directors. You guys did your things, but I'm gonna have to run it.
Here's what I will say briefly. Highest to lowest, in my opinion, should have been in the cinematography category. I think should have been nominated, because if it wasn't Sinners, I probably would have picked that.
I like that. For sure.
Him, as well as weird as him is in its own thing, it was visually stunning. But highest to lowest was it was just cool to see the black art, the penthouse, the New York skyline, the Brooklyn Bridge. A lot of it was just aesthetically pleasing. So I think it should have been nominated for that category, but it wasn't going to beat Sinners, so it is what it is. And going back to the director, it makes sense why R.T. Thorne won the Emerging Director Award. It kind of goes in this conversation. I think I'm very interested in seeing what else he comes up with and what his next project is, and so on and so forth. So that's great.
And that's funny you even mentioned that, because when you mention him, because that definitely was something it just didn't make the cut. Remember, it was originally on there when we had to vote for the nominees. Him was in that category. I guess a lot of people.
Oh yeah. When you do the
So.
Great point. So yeah, well, one day maybe one day next year before the awards, maybe we'll do a special episode where we kind of peek the curtain back and discuss what it's like to actually vote for something and how that process works, because it's not as easy as
you got to take those.
Not at all.
You got to take those biases out of it, like Ray P was talking about. You just want to vote for Denzel or Spike just because you see their name. It's like shit. This is easy, but you really got to do what you got to do. Shit.
Yeah, I want to tip my hat to Rachel, because when we did television, I know School opted out. He didn't want to do television awards. But when we did television, Rachel was very adamant about, these are people who are putting their time and craft into these things.
Absolutely.
Like the least we can do is watch,
for sure,
versus just kind of going. And that can open up doors and just avenues once you have awards next to your name and things of that nature. So it is worth the watch versus just saying, oh, I know who Lawrence Fishburne is, or I know who this person is. Let me just vote for it.
For sure.
And we literally, I probably for y'all too, been watching movies nonstop since December.
My God.
Like just making sure, getting ready. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. But shout out to shout out to Ryan Coogler for winning an outstanding director, and shout out to R.T. Thorne for emerging director. What's our next category, Rachel? What we got?
Our next category is outstanding lead performance.
Uh-oh.
And the nominees are Danielle Deadwyler for 40 Acres, Andre Holland, Love Brooklyn, Dwayne Johnson, The Smashing Machine, Jonathan Majors, Magazine Dreams, Tessa Thompson, Hedda, Cynthia Erivo, Wicked for Good, Chase Infinity, One Battle After Another, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, Keke Palmer, One of Them Days, and Denzel Washington, Highest to Lowest. And the winner for outstanding lead is Michael B. Jordan. Sinners.
Come on.
Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. Brings him the 3 Bolt Awards.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael B.
Shout out to Michael B.
And shout out to Rachel, because I can 1,000%, I'm speaking this into existence. Rachel will be on some award stage one day, presenting an award, doing the nominees. She's going to have a funny little bit, as they do. I can see it all. Shout out to that.
No, thank you. Amen.
So can I take the lead on this conversation?
Absolutely.
No pun intended.
No pun.
Okay. Well, for one, let me talk about some of these. I enjoyed every performance on this list. I genuinely did. Maybe the toughest. This and supporting might have been the toughest to kind of figure out who I'm voting for. Let me ask both of y'all this: who'd y'all vote for?
I voted for Michael B.
Okay.
It was tough though. It was tough.
It
was tough.
I too.
So my thought process: we have 10 people, right? We talked about it when Tim and Cordell were on at the early last year. We talked about the transition from actor and actress to just overall who's the best performer. So instead of 5 and 5, we got 10 total to choose from. So I looked at it and I'm like, all right, who am I not voting for? Even though I love their performance. So I knew I wasn't going to vote for Cynthia Erivo. I knew I wasn't going to vote for Chase. Wasn't going to vote for Keke. Denzel's competing with himself. So I wasn't going to vote for him. And Andre Holland, as much as I love Brooklyn. I love that movie, y'all.
Yeah.
Those are the 5 off a rip. I just knew I loved every single performance. I don't think y'all can hang with the other 5.
Yeah.
And it's not y'all performance, it's more so just they put on some shows. And it came down to Danielle Deadwyler, Dwayne Johnson, Jonathan Majors, Tessa Thompson, Michael B. Jordan.
Yep.
Danielle Deadwyler, and I might have mentioned this before, the reason I didn't vote for her is mainly because I've seen her play. It's almost like you take the piano lesson. For in this movie. Like I've seen her play that role. And I didn't even mention, like, I want to see Danielle do a rom-com. I want to see her. I think even when she was on her guest episode of The Bear, it was still like a little bit more like serious in a sense, even though it was relatable and funny and everything like that. So then it really came down to Dwayne Johnson, Jonathan Majors, Tessa Thompson, Michael B. Jordan. Dwayne Johnson was incredible.
For sure.
Incredible. All 4 of them, all 10 could have won.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne Johnson could have won. I didn't choose him. Tessa, I thought was incredible. That's who I thought was really neck and neck. Didn't choose her. It came down to Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I voted for Jonathan Majors. I voted for Jonathan Majors, and this is gonna sound weird because I'm gonna say what he had to do was very impressive. Michael B. Jordan had to play twins.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it gets any more impressive than that. But Jonathan Majors' performance, as disturbing as Magazine Dreams is, a very disturbing character and film as a whole, and a lot of controversy around it, obviously, when it was supposed to come out and all that. We don't have to get into it. I just thought he put on a hell of a performance. Like, I felt the intensity. I felt the weight. I almost felt exhausted finishing that movie. It's not one that you're just gonna go back. If anybody ever, for all y'all listening, if you haven't seen it, if anybody just hit you with the Friday night, we should watch Magazine Dreams, run. Run away. Get away from them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's not one of those type movies. If you love acting and if you love acting and like individual unique stories and following the journey of somebody who has a goal and a dream they've had for years.
For sure.
Not even a dream, an obsession.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought his performance was brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Michael B. Jordan. And as soon as I voted, I will say, I was like, damn, I should have probably voted for Michael B. I'm glad that he won. He deserved to win. But when I just look at Jonathan Majors' performance, I'm just like, damn, bro, like, you did it. Like, the movie wasn't nearly as good as Sinners.
Yeah.
But man, your performance was up there. So that's my 2 cents for it. And it's hard to say unless you've seen it. You'll know what I'm talking about. It just took a lot of intensity and even the work that it took. Like he had to eat like 6,000 something calories a day to look like a bodybuilder. And just a lot. It was a lot. And he played how's this going to come off? Rachel and myself discussed The Equalizer.
Yes.
Once upon a time. We talked about that because we weren't going to do The Equalizer originally. I think we were going to do Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And we watched it and was like, nah, we're not going to do this. We're not going to discuss this. If you watch Last Black Man in San Francisco, Rachel made the point of saying, hey, I think Jonathan Majors just played himself in this movie. And there was a little bit of that in this film as well. I completely get it. Take with it what you will. So, yeah.
I immediately thought of The Last Black Man in San Francisco in regards to this movie as a comparison. And I think everything that you said about Jonathan Majors' performance is exactly true.
Yeah.
Howsoever, even if not necessarily on Culture Garden, but definitely in private conversations, y'all know I've been hard on Michael B.
Yeah. You have.
I am me and my 9th grade theater arts, okay? Hard on the performer. You hear me? If I don't feel it, I can't get into it.
Yeah.
And I think that he is having his own renaissance of a career because we met him Wallace. And Hardball, and then the roles that he's had. For me, again, theater arts, 9th grade.
Big dog.
He has not been believable in most of his roles to me. I appreciate Fruitvale. I know what he's done. As a kid, I take child actors, whatever, but his adult roles. For me, I did not feel as though he had been stretched enough. And I did not get enough, quote unquote, from his performances. Fruitvale, even for all that Black Panther got, I still, okay, Michael, because you're up against the Chadwick Boseman, you know? And then even when we consider Creed 3, Jonathan against Michael B, everything that you said, Kyron, in regards to Jonathan Majors, he is a thespian to me.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
His care for the craft. I I'm not saying it doesn't matter to Michael B. Jordan, but the level of intensity that I felt Jonathan Majors takes with his roles has just been different. And I don't want to say he hasn't. I think Michael B. Jordan has to work harder at taking the persona of Michael B. Jordan out of a role and really diving into and becoming and transforming into whatever character he's playing.
Yeah.
Sinners, to me, for Michael B. Jordan, is the first time I didn't feel like I was looking at Michael B. Jordan on screen.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
He was really smoking.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
You know? So,
yeah.
For me, that's why it was hands down easy.
I want to chime in. I'm sorry, School. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I agree 1,000% with Ray P, but mine is a little different. I feel that way about. That's how I felt about Dwayne Johnson this year. I felt that Dwayne Johnson at some point, and Michael B. Jordan falls in that line as well. Just like entertainment, like just great entertainers. You know, box office movers. You say Michael B. Jordan, we showing up. You say The Rock, they're showing up. Will Smith at one point was that guy. Like
I was just about to say, Michael B. Jordan is the same way I view Will Smith. Like just super duper megastar. Nobody can take that away. But it took a while to get the acting chops there.
Absolutely. And this is why I felt that The Rock should have been nominated everywhere because of what he did. He finally took that next step to where you're like, okay, this guy can really act. He can really put it on. Now he's, going to be in a Martin Scorsese, and nobody should be nervous about that, and that's really a big deal, at least for me, watching this dude go from a wrestler, one of my favorite wrestlers, to a both nominated actor. That's dope. Yeah. So but yeah, I'm with you. I love I just thought Michael B. Jordan killed it. I've been on board since Killmonger. Like I just thought that his acting has stepped it up, man. But again, it's like you said, when you in a movie with Denzel or Chadwick, like you have to step it up. Like they're gonna bring it every time, and they're gonna make it look easy. So you gotta bring it. So yeah, I'm with you.
So I'm the resident Michael B. Jordan fan. Like I'm excuse me, let me not say it like that because I know y'all both are fans of Michael B. Jordan. I know you just have different thoughts the way I do. I'm a much bigger fan of Michael B. Than probably the average person. Like I kind of follow. I don't know. We're the same age. We're both Aquarius. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that tie there. But I've also The Wire is my favorite show. Michael B. Jordan was in The Wire. Take that out of it. One of my favorite shows of all time as well was Friday Night Lights. He played a big role in seasons 4 and 5. Take that out of it. Once we start getting into like Red Tails and Chronicle, so Chronicle came out in 2012, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, like my dog is getting some acting roles in movies now. Like he might still be 3rd, 4th on the call sheet, but things are coming together. And then you have Fruitvale Station, which once again a one and done movie. It's not something you really go back and revisit, but you see it. Like I saw it when he played Vince in Friday Night Lights. I saw the movie star, and I'm like, I wonder if this is gonna happen. Then Fruitvale Station happens, and the buzz is really starting. And I mentioned it and I just mentioned this movie last week, I believe. That Awkward Moment.
You did.
Not enough to. I enjoy that movie. It was a weird Michael B. Jordan movie because his character is not believable. None of that shit's happening to Michael B. Jordan. Like it's just not like he just got too much bravado. But he did a good job of playing somebody who's not himself in that film. But then you start getting into Creed, which to me, Creed was an A-list movie for. That's what jumped him to A-list. Like box office, no questions asked. Michael B. is that dude. I don't think you said what?
Real quick, what year did the Fantastic Four come out?
Right before. It came out 2015 as well. Same year as Creed.
Okay, because I was just curious. I was like, Marvel been trying to get him in the game. So like you said, he's been noticed. He's been on his way for sure.
Well, there's a big difference between Marvel and MCU at that time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So MCU was what everybody was into. Marvel, when they still had their own standalones like Fantastic Four, X-Men, all of that. They were a little bit separate. So
Okay.
yeah, they were trying to get it. They saw the star power, but it wasn't until for me when Rachel was talking about that moment. For me, it was Just Mercy.
Okay.
Just Mercy was the first time I was like, okay. Then, and now
Jamie.
he still got drowned out by Jamie.
Of course.
Which is anybody's going to get drowned out by Jamie. Like Jamie just put on a hell of a performance in that movie. But I was like, okay, then Michael B. Jordan, because the difference between him and The Rock, in my opinion, is The Rock chose to be an action star. And actually, since we're having this conversation and it won't be long, I'm actually surprised. Like, if Michael B. Jordan wanted to be an action star and be the biggest movie star, he might already be the biggest movie star in the world. But if he really wanted to just say, I'm doing my iteration of Rambo and whatever the case is, he did it a little bit with that Clancy book. What was that movie that came out? It was on Amazon, Without Remorse.
Okay.
Without Remorse.
Yeah.
He could take that lane and just go with it. But Michael B. Jordan specifically wants to tell Black stories and unique stories.
Absolutely.
And that's what I can appreciate about him. And I can see the work. Each movie he gets better. Each movie gets better. And then to your point, Rachel, you're watching Sinners, and it's like, yo, you got it. Like you made it. You made it. It's there. So shout out to Michael B. Jordan, well deserving. It was one of those moments when once I voted for Jonathan Majors, I felt like that. So sometimes in sports, there's a very unanimous and obvious MVP.
For sure.
There's always that one voter that votes for somebody else to mess it up. And I almost felt a little bit like that. Like, damn, bro. Like everybody knows this is Michael B's time.
Yeah.
So he's well deserved. Well deserved. Go ahead, School. What are you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I don't even remember, man.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, man. So I'm glad that he won. I really am.
Sure.
I really am that he won. All right. What's our next category, Ray?
Our next category is Outstanding Supporting Performance.
Okay.
We have Miles Caden for Sinners, Damson Idris, F1, Delroy Lindo, Sinners, Davine Joy Randolph, Eternity, Tiana Taylor, One Battle After Another, Regina Hall, One Battle After Another, David Johnson, The Long Walk, Wunmi Masaku, Sinners, ASAP Rocky, Highest to Lowest, and Jeffrey Wright for Highest to Lowest. And the winner is Wunmi Masaku, Sinners.
All right. I like it. Let me ask both of you. Who'd you vote for?
Go ahead, Ray P.
Me and Ray P probably voted for the same person.
Not the award show, the award season, darling. I'll tell you that. But
you want to talk about it? You want to talk about it now? You voted for Wunmi.
I did.
Nice. I love the fact that she won. I voted for Delroy.
I as well, Delroy.
Okay. Was there a reasoning? Because we talked about biases already. Rachel loves Delroy Lindo.
I did vote for Delroy.
Okay, gotcha. That's all good.
Well, Whoopi would be my second.
It's one of those where sometimes, and studios do this a lot of times for some award shows where they'll strategically categorize certain people so they're not taking votes away from each other.
Yeah.
That's what I was concerned about with this. I was perfectly fine with Wunmi. She was incredible. I thought Delroy. It's Delroy Lindo. Like, I mean, even when the movie first came out, everybody talked about his performance and just kind of being that scene stealer, and being the person that you just saw that bring that, even if you take that car ride scene, it was so heavy, and that scene almost didn't make the movie, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But he just brought a whole nother level to this film. Is it still going to be a success without him? Sure. Can I see it without him? Absolutely not. I can't see this film without Delroy Lindo.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of elders in the industry. I love Sam, but I think that, and obviously I love Denzel, but it's just maybe a Jeffrey Wright could have been a Delta Slim character, but it for me, like it is Michael B. Jordan's time, it is Delroy Lindo's time. He is
Absolutely.
deserving of all the things. And to your point, the car ride scene,
Yes,
which did not almost did not make it into the film, is such a pivotal part of the film. I can't really even see it without it. You know what I'm saying? It would be something would be missing without these couple of minutes on screen in the car riding past the chain gang. Something would be missing. And if you've ever spoken to an elder, and we all are from Ohio, if you consider most of our families we're not born in Ohio. I mean, my parents were born there, but my grandparents are from Alabama, South Carolina,
Georgia for us.
Yeah,
I mean DC too, but you know, Georgia, South Carolina. But when you think of the reasons for migrations, it is for not necessarily our individual families, but for many of the Black people who migrated from the South to the North in the Great Migrations, both of them escaping lynchings and hangings and trouble, quote unquote, for Delroy Lindo to tell this story of a lie that we've heard and communities have been plagued by forever. It feels like, you know,
still being plagued by.
Hello. Trying not to get on a soapbox.
Nah, do your thing.
But to hear this and to understand that I'm being framed and we understand what a white lie, what that does to the community, to a man, how we're impacted. My friend who I just made more money than I've ever made. He was killed for this same money. The same thing make you laugh, make you cry. And now I'm an alcoholic. And I've been to jail and I am out, but I got to drink myself to sleep. I got to drink myself awake to cope with the things that I saw, not just that day, but any other day in Reconstruction, Jim Crow, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's deep. And that scene for me is more, I don't want to say important, but more impactful to me, Ray P, than the music scene that everybody went up for in the juke joint when Ryan juxtaposed every genre of music that delineates from the blues. This scene mattered more to me than that as a lover of music and culture and dance and all the things. That's all.
No, that was extremely well said, Rachel. Thank you for that. And I think part of the reason you felt that way, and not to
because I love Delroy.
No, not at all. We all love Delroy. I think part of the reason is when you think about history is one thing.
For sure.
And watching and reading and learning and being in a class is one thing. But Delta Slim embodied what it's like to talk to an elder Black person who was there.
For sure. For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we understand who Martin Luther King Jr. was. We understand who Malcolm X was. We understand all these, you know, the Chairman Fred Hampton. We understand these people.
For sure.
When you talk to your parents or your grandparents about what it was like when you get the news that MLK had been, murdered, assassinated, when you get even the good stuff of what it was like, it's just different. And I think he embodied, Delta Slim embodied. I'm not just telling you a story because I read my history. I'm telling you a story because I lived it. And the alcoholism and having something to turn to. You got to remember, there are no distractions like there are in 2026. Kind of remind me, shout out to my brother Phil, man. His pop served in Vietnam, and Phil will tell me, like, man, my dad's never talked about Vietnam with me, ever. Not once, not one thing. Refuses to do it. And I just immediately start thinking of like, damn, the things that he saw over there. I can only imagine, and what it takes to kind of shake back. We talked about it a little bit when we did Dead Presidents.
Yep.
I think that is just such a, because you saw it, and it's a hard thing to kind of get there from an actor performance where it translates on screen, and that's what we saw. And I think that's why we all voted for him. However, I don't want to take any light away from Wunmi and what she did, and I'm glad that she was able to display her talents, because a lot of people weren't familiar with her game.
Yeah.
And now they are. And she is phenomenal. Her character as a whole, we could spend a whole nother podcast just talking about that character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, seriously, forget the love aspect of it. Just that individual, who she is. She could have her own spinoff. Like, seriously. And the pain and the trauma and her ability to cope with it a lot better than Smoke, and have a better understanding of life and the afterlife and what we're here for. I just talked about Delroy and Delta Slim portraying that. She did the same in this film, which is why it's extremely well deserved. And when I look at the other nominees, I think the only other person that I was really considering might have been David Johnson in The Long Walk.
Yes.
He's just got that thing where he's just an actor. Like, he's just an actor. Like, you can, I see him in a ton of things. There's actually a rom-com or romance movie with him, and I'm going to check out. Because I think he's British. I think he's UK. I think he's from over the pond as well. Excuse me if I'm making that up. But I definitely want to check out more of his work. He's got some other things in the works as well. But we can't escape this conversation, Rachel. We got to have it. Sorry, y'all. We got to do it.
Also, real quick, shout out to Delroy, who is a fellow voter.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to him. The Voting Academy as well.
Yeah. Vote for yourself.
One battle after another. Told y'all at the beginning, man. We keep things honest and we keep things real here. I personally, and let me start by saying, I'm glad Tiana's having her moment. I'm glad she's having her moment. This is the highlight apex of her career. She deserves all the flowers. I'm happy to see that Black woman get all the things that she deserves.
For sure.
I can also say, on the other side of it, I didn't see it. Not saying I didn't see a good performance. I don't know if there was enough there to say it was better than some of these other people. You know, I don't think the performance just kind of carried the same. Same with Regina, right? But that was because they didn't, in my opinion, they didn't give Regina Hall enough to do in that movie. Because y'all know how we all feel about Regina here. But Tiana Taylor, once again, happy that she's getting her moment. I don't think it was even close to Delroy, Wunmi, and we can go on and on. So I know Rachel.
I don't agree.
We had conversations about the film.
I think she was awesome. I think she was amazing. Representation matters. I know you're on that side of it. So I'm glad. Yeah, I don't have to say that to y'all, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
let's have the conversation, because what was it? And remember when we talked about it, it was just me in school. Rachel wasn't on this episode, but I said it. School, remember, I said, man, in 5 years, after your first watch is one thing, but once you watch it again and you start noticing the fetishization of Black women, and I'm not saying it's not a real thing.
Very real.
So I'm okay with it being put in a movie because it really happens. But as a Black man, it is kind of hard to just ignore it. It's a little bit like, all right, so yeah, I'll leave it there. I'm very curious to see how we're going to talk about that movie in 5 years.
If you can't tell, if you're solely listening audibly, thank you. But if you're watching, you can tell by my face that I am not a fan of one battle after another. Where it stands in this conversation as we discuss outstanding supporting, I love Tiana Taylor down since My Sweet 16 on MTV. I've bought the music. I've watched the movies. Howsoever, not only does this movie suck to me,
Oh,
Oh.
to me, and I understand, truthfully, and I don't want to put two Black women up against each other, but I thought what Regina did with her 10 minutes of screen time was more impactful than T's 30 minutes. Kyron, you mentioned how we feel about Regina. I will never, ever, ever stop giving Regina Hall her flowers. She, to me, can do literally everything. Impeccable comedic timing, naturally funny. Hello, sister. He can do the drama, emotional, love interest, dancer, whatever the role calls for. First lady, she does it and does it well. And when we talked about the Michael B of it all in the transforming of yourself, turning yourself into said character, I think what Regina put on in her 10, 12 minutes of screen time, it was just much more powerful to me than what my good sis T did, and for what that movie calls for. So I hate one battle after another. I understand the concept, but I care about, like Jill Scott just said, I care about writing. And my pussy don't pop for you, it's not no shit I'm trying to watch. I'm not the least bit interested in that. And not from us and not for that audience. And when we talk about the fetishization, and you can say, well, you watch entertainers and you watch Meg shake ass and your queen throw ass. I do. Howsoever, something about it is different. And if I watch other entertainers, and even T in a musical role, if I'm watching you throw ass, it still feels like it's for us. Everybody else just gets to see.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
In one battle, it's like, oh, this ain't for me. Who this for? And I'll make people the center of a nary bit of my universe. And that's what this was. And I don't fuck with that.
You're not alone. A lot of people love the film. I know School loves the film. And we had the conversation. Well, I'll let School answer that. I just want to real quick before I hand it over to School. I'll preface it. And this wasn't an on-air conversation. This is me and Rachel talking. I just remember telling her, like, kind of what we said at the beginning. Art is subjective. So it depends on what you go into movies looking for. We're deep in the movie bag to the point where I'm a nerd about this shit. Like, I look at movies differently than probably just the average person who watches their Friday. What's on Netflix? Like, yeah, I kind of just get into a different bag. And it's frustrating. I'll be honest, it's frustrating at times. Because you just want to sit there and let it be. If you love acting, if you love something different, if you love original, then that's what it is for. And you're going to like the movie. If you have parts of you that's just hard to turn off, like your blackness, there's certain moments that are just like, and they're still not saying that you can't be black and enjoy this movie, obviously with School, but you can't, depending on what your tolerance is.
Yeah.
Can I get past this? And some people just, specifically, actually, Black women. I didn't actually know how problematic some of that stuff was. Problematic might be a stretch. That might not be the correct word.
Yeah.
I didn't know how triggering it was until I talked to Black women about this movie. Like, I haven't talked to one Black woman that loves this movie.
Really?
No, I haven't. And I remember watching it and having a conversation and just getting like and it was all the same things. And if you look online and the Reddit online, it's all the same issue. So I think there's a conversation to be had about that. And maybe we'll save it another day. Maybe we'll have a conversation about one battle after another.
Yeah.
In the future, not this year or next year, but in the future, one day once it has some time to age.
For sure.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say, and it's crazy because the part that everybody takes so much issue with is only the first 40 minutes of the movie. 30 minutes is so much more that happens after the fact, but still it just leaves a foul taste like, what is this? And she ain't got no black friends. What's going on?
Yeah. School. Did you want to give your 2 cents on what you loved about the movie?
Not really. And it's not like that. I just haven't had a chance to dig into it, into that side of it, of what people don't like, or the only thing that I know is what I've heard you guys say. But I haven't done my research on it, so I don't want to really speak without really looking into it. But honestly, I just thought that the character was just about representation. And at the same time, like there is there are I didn't see it as of course she's a black woman. And of course he's he likes black women, or fan of he obsessed with them or whatever. I just think she
was like black girls.
Yeah, I think she was trying to take advantage of the situation, trying to get whatever. It ain't that big a deal. Like I said, I'll look more into it, and when we had that conversation that you're speaking of, I'll be ready.
For sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tiana. Congratulations, girl.
Yeah, and shout out to our winner. Shout out to our winner.
You're right.
Woman. But real quick before we move on to the next category, I do want to applaud you, School. I can really appreciate that because we need more of that.
For
people
sure.
with microphones. If you're out there, you're listening, and you have a podcast, or you have a voice or a platform, it's okay to say, you know what? I'm gonna do a little bit more information before I start speaking.
Yeah. For sure.
And then circle back to it, because there's a lot of people that just talk and they don't know what they're talking about. So I can appreciate that. And it's movies. There's no right or wrong. It's just all feelings.
Right.
It is what it is. I'm not surprised by any of it. Everybody, as I've said, is deserving. But I don't think any of the women in that movie had enough to do to where I would vote for them. Even Chase Infinity, like as much as I love the movie and her performance, I don't see anything that just blew me away. And I really, 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 really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. That's just me. Subjective. It's just our opinions. Rachel, what's our next category?
That's it. Just before, shout out to Wound Me again. Congratulations, girl. I know we delved off on another topic, but you did that. Annie is an important character. And as so many people, I saw a thread. This woman was Annie for Halloween. And she said, I too have somebody waiting on me on the other side. And that thing just broke me. When we consider miscarriages and the plight of women and this, that, and the third, and for Annie to have been a practitioner and have the gift of sight and be able to do all of these things and not be able to say the one thing, just beautiful, powerful. I got hip to Wound Me on what's the show with Jonathan Majors? Lovecraft Country. That was my introduction. I've been a fan ever since. I am excited to see what all she does next. Amen.
Amen.
Absolutely. Shout out to her, man. And I know she's expecting right now. So shout out to her. Beautiful, glowing black woman, man.
Yes.
Beautiful.
For sure. Amen. To get these baby to the other side.
Yes.
The next baby, outstanding breakthrough performance.
All right.
Hey.
Look at that.
Great segue.
Yeah, absolutely. Miles Catton, Sinners. Nia Desir Johnson, Sarah's Oil. Chase Infinity, One Battle After Another. Abu Sangare, Soleiman's Story. ASAP Rocky, Highest to Lowest. Susan Shardy on Becoming a Giddy Fowl. Damson Idris, F1. Jamie Fine-Ass Lawson, Sinners.
Super cold.
SZA, One Day After One of Them Days, and then Tyreek Withers, him. And the winner is for best breakthrough or outstanding breakthrough is Miles K in Sinners.
That was my vote.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not to delve too deep into it, but when you realize like all the things that he did in such a short, like he's first of all just an incredible artist.
For sure.
Self-taught, like learn to play the guitar, all of these things on his own.
The blues guitar.
Yeah, blues guitar, incredible voice. For this to be his first film and not to be like classically trained in that. And I think he was he on tour with her?
Yes.
He was on tour with her, if I'm not mistaken. And she and maybe other people were the ones encouraging him to try out for this role. Yeah. It ended up working out. Shout out to people who see something in you and encourage you to do those things that you might not see in yourself, because it ended up having an incredible impact on this film. One of the most important characters in the film, if not the most. There's an argument to be made that you kind of don't have a story without him. Yeah. So that was my vote. I was happy to see, like, if you've heard me talk, F1. Sinners was my favorite movie of the year. F1 was number 2. I love F1. Love F1. Shout out to Damson. I'm just happy to see him in movies, big movies. You can see the movie star. And I think those were my 2. Susan and on becoming Susan Shardy on becoming a guinea fowl. I thought was very impressive as well. But those are my top 2, and I think Miles deserved that win.
I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I had
do you remember who you voted for, School?
I voted for SZA.
Okay. I know you really liked One of Them Days.
Yes, I absolutely did. I voted for SZA, and you know, my only gripe again, and I'll say it again, I've said it numerous times, is just as she taking this craft serious. She has talent. So is she gonna take it serious, or is she just gonna keep, you know, back and forth, or you know? So that's usually the big thing with, you know, musicians, you know, who act or vice versa, is, you know, trying to find that balance. So
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How much of it was, and SZA was incredible in One of Them Days. I think we all agree with that. How much of it was I didn't even think we could get, I didn't even know this was there. Like for me, when I watched One of Them Days, I didn't know, like SZA was a serviceable actor to the point where I didn't know, because like you said, School, think of an artist, a musician, they trying to transition, it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Just doesn't always work.
Yeah.
But for her, it did, and it seemed believable. So I was like,
yeah,
I wonder how much of this is, like, can she do that in something else?
Yeah, that's what it is for me. Exactly what you said. And comedy's hard. A lot of people don't seem to realize how hard comedy is.
I think it's the hardest genre to act.
Yeah, and to start off in that, you know, and I'm sure Kiki and a lot of people involved in it made it a little bit easier for her, but man, you know, when it was time to get her laughs off or for her to have us chuckling, she never missed a beat. So
for sure.
Yeah, she did her thing. So
one thing I'll say about comedy, like we see it as the final product, but on take 5, that shit ain't funny no more.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, you feel me? Like take 5 or 6, man, the joke is gone. So you gotta really be sharp and on top of it. So and Kiki just one of those people, just regular banter. Like I'm sure there's so much improv that they allow, so it's dope. Yeah, Rachel, did you have thoughts on it as well? Who was
no, I agree. I think y'all both made great points. Okay, on to the next one. We have Outstanding Ensemble, and note that this award is given to the casting director.
Oh, okay.
So for 40 Acres, we have Kim Coleman and Stephanie Gorin. Highest to lowest, Kim Coleman again. On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, Isabella Adolphin. One of Them Days, Nicole Abellera and Jean McCarthy. Sinners, Francine Meisler. And the winner, Sinners, Francine Meisler, casting director.
Yeah. It's go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that's an easy one for me, an easy win. I think coming off of our last conversation or the immediate category before, if not Sinners for me, then I think I would give it to One of Them Days.
Yep. That's it.
I think you're right. think you're right. I think maybe the argument for highest to lowest, but I'm looking at the top end. Like if you look at the top end of the roster, versus the entire ensemble, even the person that didn't get a ton of screen time, even the actors you didn't know in Sinners, or just getting familiar with, they all everybody performed. There wasn't anybody dragging the team down in that movie.
Nope.
Like everybody did their thing
for sure.
So it's Sinner. That's probably the easiest. That was the easiest category.
Yep.
Even though we know Sinners was going to win a lot of awards, I don't think anybody just had actor for actor that can go up with that cast. So I agree 100%. Sure. Shout out to Kim Coleman.
Facts.
I'm sorry. Shout out to Francine Mason.
For sure. But shout out to Kim for having a double nomination
as well.
Category.
Got two of them.
Doing their thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I believe we have two more.
We have outstanding screenplay left and best film or outstanding film.
All right, let's get into it.
So our outstanding screenplay, we have Ryan Coogler, Sinners, Nia DaCosta, Hedda, Rungano Nioni on Becoming a Guinea Fowl, Cyrita Singleton, One of Them Days, R.T. Thorne and Glenn Taylor for 40 Acres. And the winner for outstanding screenplay is, you guessed it, Ryan Coogler.
100%. Once again, not a surprise. But I will say this. I do want to tip my hat and give some credit to Rungano Nioni. It needed to happen. Like it takes, I don't want to say courage, maybe that is the right word. That's not an easy story to tell. Like it's not an easy story to get greenlit, to get made. There's nothing about it that says, "Ooh, I can't wait to go to the theaters to check that out," or "Ooh, I can't wait till Saturday night when I'm flicking through things to watch." But it's also something that
this is 40 Acres, right?
No.
Oh, Becoming a Guinea Fowl.
Okay, Becoming a Guinea Fowl. Yeah.
On Becoming a Guinea Fowl. 40 Acres is that's very digestible. Everything within it. But On Becoming a Guinea Fowl is just not a film that you normally would see made. It's not a film that's easy. It could be very triggering for a lot of people, especially when you talk about, if you know anything about sexual abuse, especially when it comes from those close to you. The thing that I would say about that film is it wasn't just one victim. There were multiple victims. And they even delved into the cover-up of it and how families know this is going on, but we're not really mad. And you got these children who are adults now realizing what happened to them. And starting to understand how they can cope and live with it.
For sure.
And
it sounds similar to Nickel Boys, right? Like Nickel Boys.
It went much deeper than Nickel Boys in a sense. Because Nickel Boys covered so much other things. And this one did as well. But it definitely centered, especially when you look at, it wasn't just you, it was me too. When you got one of the cousins who was, no, that didn't happen. He tried it, then later turned back and said, actually, I made that up because, you got to put all that down. I don't want to go too deep into it. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, it's definitely something that I can appreciate them putting it in a format to where it can start a conversation.
For sure.
Because there's a lot of things within our community that we just kind of sweep under the rug or nobody talks about it. It's there, and we all know it's there. We're just going to pretend that it's not. We can go on with our lives. And the breaker of chains that this movie kind of is. In that sense, it's I want to just tip my hat for even writing a screenplay like that.
For sure.
I think that's worth a conversation. So I want to give her a shout out. But once again, it's not going to, I don't want to say it's not going to win anything. It's hard to win something when you have that deep of a subject matter.
Yeah.
For sure. Excellent point.
Appreciate that.
Shout
every
out
blue moon. Every blue moon.
Every now and again, you kind of got an idea of what you're talking about.
Every now and then. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Go ahead, Scoob. You gonna say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
And shout out to A24, man. I know I said this over and over. Remember, A24 constantly
smoking shit.
If I didn't know that was a studio behind them, I easily could have put it together. They're constantly taking these films and pushing the limits of what's going on.
Yes.
And kind of telling these new unique stories that we say we're so tired. They're saying, hey, forget the comic book heroes, forget all the action stuff. Let's tell some real people and real stories and go there.
For sure.
So shout out to them for that. Shout out to them. I think then A24 do Moonlight. It kind of reminded me a little bit, not the movie itself, but just kind of taking this topic and diving a little bit deeper. Kind of remind me a little bit of Moonlight, which obviously won Best Picture in the year that it was nominated. So just an uncomfortable conversation. Yeah. Let's bring some light to it and let's finally get into it. I want to appreciate studios for not just saying let's make as much money as possible. Let's tell as many stories as we can. So shout out to A24. I want to give them some kudos.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to them. And then just shout out to Becoming a Guinea Fowl. Shout out to all of our foreign brothers and sisters.
For sure.
Making the art.
For sure.
Doing the things.
100%. And then we got the last category, Rachel.
Our last category. Outstanding film. Hedda. Highest to lowest. Or I guess I can announce the producer since they're listed. Dee Gardner for Hedda. Dee Gardner, Jeremy Kleiner, Gabrielle Nading, Nia DaCosta, Tessa Thompson, producers. Highest to lowest, Todd Black and Jason Michael Berman. One of Them Days, Issa Rae, Denise Davis, Sarah Rastogi, James Lopez, Poppy Hank. Sinners, Zinzi Kugler, Sev Ohanian, and Ryan Coogler. For Wicked for Good, Mark Platt and David Stone. And the winner, plural, for Outstanding Film is the Movie of the Year. Movie Bolt record holders.
16 of them things.
14.
Oh, 14.
It's all good. All good.
All good. The one, the only movie produced by husband and wife. The Zinzi and Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
We have Sinners.
Yes.
Top Dog Law.
It's without question.
Without question.
I knew that in April. And not to be biased and kind of shut out anything that was to come, but I just knew it was hard pressed to find something that was going to top Sinners. Knowing the lineup and everything like that. It was even with I remember when One Battle After Another was coming out and the reviews started coming in and people were saying it's the best movie of the past 10 years and all that. Once again, I enjoyed it more than Rachel, not as much as School. So I'm right in the middle between the two. I think I had it at number 4 on my list for 2025, but Sinners clear as day. Clear as day. Just phenomenal film.
For sure.
And I'm still not tired of it. Nope. I don't know if I ever will be. I've seen it a lot in 1 year. It hasn't even been out 12 months, and I've seen it a lot.
For sure.
And
I almost watched it again today, but I had too much work to do.
Understood. I'll watch it again probably this week, next week, probably somewhere in that range.
I just want to say real quick, shout out to the Black Reel Awards. I know we say that a lot, but one of the reasons why I really appreciate the Black Reel Awards is because of just this Sinners, a year where a Black film should win every fucking thing. We don't look for that what am I looking for? We don't look for that gratification or whatever from Golden Globes or the Academy. We have our own awards. We have our own people willing to say, yo, you deserve 14 awards. Like, you deserve it all. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, do you want to win an Oscar? Maybe. But I'm cool with the Black Reel Awards. You feel me? And I'm super excited. I'm so grateful to be a part of this team. For sure. To get to make these decisions to make history. I can say I was part of history, that's a great feeling, man. So shout out to the Black Reel Awards. Shout out to Sinners, classic. I will be on HBO Max Tonight, probably. Shit.
Yeah. It's one of them ones.
For sure.
Yeah, it is.
One of them ones. Me and Rachel just it's romance month, and we just had a conversation about what happened to rom-coms. You know what I mean? Like just what happened to that genre that we know and love. But the conversation kind of centered about what's the last one that you loved. What's the last one you just left the theater? It's like, yo, that's dope. That's going to be a yearly rotation movie.
Yeah.
I felt that about Sinners, just about movies in general. Like I knew this is in the rotation now. This is I have a thing where if I consider you a classic, I'm not talking about mainstream. If I just personally think you're a classic, I'm buying the DVD. I'm buying the Blu-ray. Sinners was instantly on that list.
Yep.
So shout out to Sinners, man. Shout out to
For
Sinners.
sure. And the fact that y'all go to the movies way more
than go to the movies. Shout out to The Wire if anybody recognizes that reference. Y'all go to the movies. But go ahead.
But the fact that I took myself into that dirty ass theater multiple times to see Sinners, that should tell you enough, but it was worth it every single time. And during our Sinners episode, I went on a whole diatribe about how good the movie is, so I can spare you guys this listed, but go back to that episode of Culture Garden,
check it out.
But I meant it then and I mean it now. It really is like that, and you really can glean something different on every single time you watch the movie.
And I love movies like that.
Even if it's just a facial expression that you didn't catch before, that now that you've seen it, I should have caught. I should have known something was afoot here. I should have seen this, or I didn't realize that this was a little bit more tender than I experienced previously. But just again, shout out to the writers, the producers, every single person who went into making this film. Shout out to, again, School. You did us good by shouting out Black Real. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody behind the scenes who puts the award show on. Cordell in these lists.
Shout out to Cordell, man.
Amen. Thank you.
Shout out to Cordell for the reminders. You hear me?
For the reminders.
hey, Cordell gonna make sure you vote. Hey.
Make sure you vote.
I know you still got 2 days, but you vote.
Wake up, nigga.
Which is why I did not pussyfoot around with the final voting. I was like, the first time I saw the email, let me go ahead and knock this out.
It's funny because I did, and I got a text. Forget the email, I got the text. Hey, you know the awards due tonight. I got you, man. I got you.
I wasn't playing. I ain't getting up no naughty list.
Straight up. Shout out to everybody. Tim, Cordell, everybody involved, the entire voting academy, everybody watching these movies. And all I want to do is highlight two things. One, I don't think we talked about Tessa Thompson enough. Shout out to Tessa Thompson, incredible actor. Hedda is a movie. Check it out. Interesting film. Once again, it has an origin. It's not an original piece. But Nia DaCosta and what she did with it, I think was very, very good. I thought Tessa Thompson was amazing in that film. If it wasn't a year for Sinners, I could have easily seen myself voting for her for most outstanding lead. It's almost like what's that movie we watched and we talked about schools? Tar. Kind of a little bit like Tar in a sense. And just a different sign. But I just wanted to give shout out to Nia and Tessa for that. But I also want to end it with, we talk about the Black Real Awards and why it's important. In School, you said it best. Having a space for us, because I can guarantee you, like shout out to Denzel, I can guarantee it. We look at films like this differently than anyone else. And I'm not talking about us three as Culture Garden. I'm talking about Black people. And there are certain things that we get from Sinners, and there are certain people who aren't from the culture who get from Sinners. And they just don't see it the same. You can hear our intro. That's why we have Denzel in the intro. It's not color, it's culture. You know, I know, we all know what it smells like when a hot comb is burning on Sunday morning. That ain't got nothing to do with us necessarily, the blackness of it. I mean, it does, don't get me wrong, but that's also a culture thing. There's some Black people, they never know that smell. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I'm so gracious to be a part of this space, to recognize us, appreciate us, because that's what really matters. And you can tell this film was made for us, and these films for the most part, were made for us to appreciate a little bit more. And I'm happy to be a part of it. So shout out to y'all for having these conversations. Shout out to Black Real. And already looking forward to the 27th. I can't wait till I see that. I can't wait till I see if we see a movie where it's like, oh, put that on the list. That's going to be one of them nominations.
For sure.
So yeah, that's it. Anything else before we get out of here?
I think that's it. Good job, guys.
Good job by y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Please remember, Romance Month is continuing. We will have a new episode as well this week. So I know this is dropping this week. We'll have another episode this week. We just did relationship goals on Prime Video. Shout out to School. School dropped an episode of his pod. We're talking about video games and classics.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure you check him out. He's about to be a guest on Childish Grown-Ups. That'll be coming out this week as well. So School is booked and busy. Shout out to Lil Cuz. And shout out to Culture Garden. Rachel, we got y'all. We got some shows coming back.
We do in fact got y'all. Let me tell y'all.
This month.
We do in fact got y'all.
Not just because I'm busy, but we were supposed to come to y'all. But we felt as though some of the shows really weren't showing like that. So we didn't want to do that to y'all or us. But we'll be back very soon. Right. We got y'all. Don't worry about it.
We did that. So hopefully y'all ain't got to go through that.
We
learned. Rachel, trust me. Rachel and myself have sat through some strenuous watches.
Yeah.
And learn that, you know what, maybe we should wait and see what we think about these before we go into it. But not just we got y'all. We will be back this month. We got y'all. We'll be back. I can promise you that. Yeah. But also, I don't listen to the stuff I'm a part of that often.
Irritating.
I was listening to some older Culture Garden episodes. It's some incredible episodes, y'all. Pick a movie and just listen. There are some incredible conversations that have taken place that I personally don't appreciate how good they are. And I'm not saying that because I'm a part of it, but I go back and listen and I'm like, yo, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So if you don't, even if it's not something that's current, we've got 141 episodes.
My God, today.
Talk that shit.
We still got some. We got some episodes that we still got to redo so we can put on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can go back to our first classic, which I believe was episode 10, Best Man, Rachel's first appearance.
Yeah.
To Bill Street and Talk, to the Inkwell, to next Friday to Love Jones. Nutty Professor is one of those classics, in my opinion. There's a ton of them, y'all. There's a ton of great episodes that we just had fun with. So please make sure you go check us out, leave a comment, all of that. And with that being said, we'll see y'all later this week for a new Romance Month. And then we'll be back again next week. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool?
Peace.
Peace out.